1, go.
All right, so today we're going to change what's called a jalousi in a Saab 9000 or Saab 95 2002. And my tools is a Torx T10, a small blade. I've got a small blade Craftsman screwdriver here, a flashlight, and then a panel popper. The first thing we're going to do is separate the trim around the shifter housing. And sometimes this might be a little gummy, so just kind of be patient with it. Or lift it all the way off. Now. All right, so now we're going to put the key in and bring the shifter back halfway. And I put on the brake. So on the back side is the Torx.
Hopefully my brakes don't lock up because you pulled the e-brake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to remind you about that. Someday we'll get that on the to-do list.
So as I remove this trim screw, the front leather housing is going to come forward. And if it doesn't, I'm going to go ahead and pull the screw out so we don't lose it. And I can just get both fingers in there, pull it out very carefully because you don't want to drop it down. And we're going to set that on the floorboard. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very carefully separate the back plastic from your wrapped leather front so it doesn't split out or break. And then I'm just going to have to pull it forward just real slowly. Okay? So now the back piece is going to come up and out.
Okay.
We're just slightly going to lift the whole assembly out, and that's going to get our trigger here, and to remove the trigger from the shaft, I'm going to roll this pin out. You're going to see it come out, and again, I'm going to grab it. So here's the pin.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to put that here on the floor.
Okay.
So now I can grab the trigger off the rod, and now he's out. Okay, so now what's left is the leather wrapped housing with your sport button, and I'm going to take the screwdriver on the back side and force it upward, and it's going to pop out. And it depends on how long it's been in there, and it'll slowly come out. Now this is going to be different in different years, but this is good from 99 to 2009. And 99 to 01, I believe these are going to be soldered. So you're going to actually heat these up and desolder those wires from it. But you have an 02, so we're just going to carefully remove the female terminal from the male terminals. And when we put them back on, it can go either way.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so that's our sport button. We're going to set this down here on the floor so we have everything down there. So now,
I love that button.
So what we're going to do is we're going on the back side, we're going to go ahead and pull the wiring out. And there's a channel right here. When we put it all back together, we need to get that wire in this channel.
Okay.
And then there's a second channel. As I lift this up, you see the wiring in the back here? So that's all going to have to go back together in the exact same order. So everything moves. So now we have your leather wrap cover off, and the wires are out. Okay, so now we have the housing. We're going to lift up on these little keys here. So left and right. Now we can't lift it very far because the winter button is wired into this chassis.
Okay.
So sometimes we can pull this carpet down and undo those wires, but you still won't be able to lift it up very far. So what I'm doing, I'm lifting it out of the way while I pull out this assembly.
Okay.
And this jalousi assembly,
that one was cut too.
It's broken, and we're going to actually find the pieces because we have to get the pieces out of the way.
Gotcha.
So your jalousi assembly is attached to a plastic indicator, illumination indicator. So we're going to push that to the side. And now I've got your jalousi in the hand here, and I'm going to pull it out. So that's what's left of it. And we're going to, with a flashlight, we're going to look forward and back and make sure those pieces are not in our way, and the back side will fall down. And I don't care where it goes. On the front, we want to make sure that there is no front piece in there because it will break our new piece because it will drop. It doesn't drop out of the way, it stays in there. And so we can take your new one. So here's your new piece, and we want to compare it and make sure those fronts are the same size.
Okay.
So we know that there's not a piece in the front that I need to go digging for. And we can see here that it's the same size, so we're not missing the front. The back, again, like I thought was done or broken, and it's fallen down, and it's no problem. So now we have your front piece, and what I want you to pay attention to is the way that the illumination slides in here. It's not a circle,
Keyway.
it's a keyway, yep. And then we're going to turn it 90 degrees. And then that is the way it sits and runs in the assembly. So as this moves, this moves.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to take it back apart because now we need to get this through this opening. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab your wires and bring it through the opening. And we're going to lift this guy up, push the front side in, and just kind of work it in diagonal. And we want to be very careful not to not to pinch it or damage it. So now I have it flat, and the front is out and the back is out, so it's just flat. So one thing we want to do while we're in here is we want to check this bulb, and you can see down in here that it's good.
Okay.
And if not, we can take off this screen and change that bulb while we're in here, but you're good to go. I'm going to turn off your lights. So now I'm going to pull this up, and now I'm going to go ahead and put the illumination strip just like I had it, 90 degrees, and then I'm going to turn it.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and put in the front jalousi piece, and then we're going to put in the front illumination piece in its slot. And then we're going to carefully bend it to put in the back. And then, as you can see, the illumination piece, actually, the slot just broke on it. So now it's not going to tie up to it. So if you want to pause that, we're going to go ahead and find another piece.
Okay.
All right, so I let my foot off the brake.